So this is the final game I made for this coding class, and the story behind the game is that you are a lost dog in the woods, and you need to find your way back home to your human. You navigate through the woods by pushing statues, which are these, into their respective buttons, which are right here. And the first thing I did create was the basic sprite and the object that the player would play as, which is this little dog thing. And I also made it be able to switch like which direction it goes once the player commands uh, by moving it. Then I created the other sprites and objects based on the story of the game and how I wanted each object to react to the player. For example, the trees would block where the player can go so they can't escape like the environment. It acts as a barrier. And for the statue, I started out with a simple stick figure design as like a temporary design for it. And then I redrew it once the game was almost complete. The hardest thing to code was the statue because I needed it to interact with the player and its surrounding in multiple ways. Like, for example, I can push the statue, but once it goes into this little like lighter green grass tile, it stops the player and the statue from going off the darker tile. And I know it's not a perfect collision, as you can see there's some like bumping or whatnot going on, but it worked for this game. The grass tiles and the owl with the button weren't that hard to code, but like the owl, once the player hit the owl, it would like that. It would create a little noise like a howl, and the player would be sent to the beginning of the game. Well, the beginning of the level. So the simple game mechanics of the game was basically the player has to push the statue around until it hits the button, like just there, and then it deletes one of these trees, which allows the player to go on to the next level. And if the player hits owl, they lose 1 life out of 3, and once they lose all 3 lives, then it goes to the start of the game. Like this. Yep. And then the owls provide more of a challenge for the game, because like you can't hit them or else you'll die. And my first idea for this game was to have the like multiple statues around a level. Like there would be a statue here, like here and here, and they would slowly follow you as you try and navigate throughout the level. And if they caught you, you would die and be sent to the beginning of the level. So I realized that in the final version, or like trying to code that would be really hard for a beginner level class, so I decided not to do that. So the rest of the game, it's pretty simple. There is 3 levels, and this is the second level, where you just dodge those 2 owls, and then you can go on to the next one. And this is the hardest level. And yeah, you basically have to dodge all the owls. And then the music I made is, well, the music that's in the background I made by myself using GarageBand. So I had a pretty fun time with that. And then this is the second to last screen, where you're just supposed to simply go to the human, and then ta-da, you finish the game. And yep, that was pretty much it. So, and you enter a space to restart the game.